Hey, welcome. This is Chini. Um, Taking my usual walk. Although today I didn't walk from school. I used my bicycle. It was very windy and very cold. So I came home and decided to drop my bag before heading out. So I don't know where I'll be able to walk to, but I see lots of students, my daughter's schoolmates. And I think I spotted my daughter now. Oh dear. Anyway, what did we do in school today? Gesture game. I love gesture game. Animal gesture game. I wanted my student to know names of animals. And the way I started the lesson was to write it in Japanese. Dobutsu. So they can fill in the missing space. They were really good, my third graders. Then I tried finding out from them what kind of animals they know, in Japanese of course, and some of them were able to know the English names for those animals. And then I did some gesture to find out if they know the other animals I wanted them to really know. They were so sweet. I wanted them to know wild boar, okay? And it was really difficult for me to really do the gesture because the gesture for pigs is they all know it. So I told them the animal looks like a pig. So they all went, she. It was really funny. I said, why did they towards the end, made it sound a little bit longer, like, she. They said that's the English version. Oh dear. Anyway, my lesson today was really fun. Usually, this school, I usually teach the third graders and the fourth graders. But the fourth graders, I'm not the T1. The Japanese English teacher there is the T1. So it was really fun. I don't know how long. Oh, I just remembered. I forgot to put my walker on. I've walked for a while now, but oh dear. Anyway, I'll just walk like that without knowing how long. So, what else am I going to talk about? English words and Japanese words. Someone always says, Japanese don't have the words. They don't have the words, like trying to give excuses for students not making an effort to know how to mix those pronunciation. Of course, I get it. I myself, I have my problem in terms of pronunciation because English is not our first language, right? I'm Igbo, so I have problem with H and A, and I think every other countries that do have English as their second language have one problem with the sound of a letter, or more than just one. They have several, but it doesn't matter. It shouldn't stop us from trying to communicate. It shouldn't stop us from making an effort. It's really, really important for us to make an effort. So I get it, them trying to tell those students we don't have such sound, in Japanese. We don't. Well, yeah, you don't, but you still have to try. You still have to learn those sounds of letters, the shoganai. So usually I tell my students they have to really try. Also, many of them have really asked me, "Hey Chini, how do you know Japanese? Did you go to school?" I said, "Nope, I didn't go to school. I'm not 100% very fluent when speaking, and I don't know how to write, except my name, of course. But I didn't go to school to learn the language. One of the ways I always encourage them to really try to learn the language is my story. I tell them my story, how I learned how to speak Japanese. Okay, so I'm sure you guys are very inquisitive to know. I'll tell you. The first thing is having interest. I developed the interest. Why did I develop the interest? Because I wanted to make friends. So how do I make friends when I don't know how to speak the language? You can't, right? So interest first. Then the second thing is the desire to make friends. I was dying to really have a Japanese friend, as many friends as possible. So that desire encouraged me to really put in all my effort. So what are the efforts? I got a notebook, a Japanese English dictionary, my pencil, and I started listening to news, Japanese news. I listen to music, Japanese music. I watch their TV programs. Even when I'm on the train, I eavesdrop on people's conversation. Can you imagine? Of course, I don't know what they are talking about, but every day I try as much as possible to pick one word a day, one word a day. So when I pick those words, I check for the meaning, and I keep writing my vocabulary. Japanese words started growing, and sometimes I'll say, "Oh, I think I know this word." Of course, initially I didn't start off like speaking blah 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 very fluently. No, like if I want to say, "Where is the station?" Just mention the keyword "eki." Anybody you're asking will know what you're trying to say without saying the full sentence. Of course, I learned what "excuse me" is, because simasen, eki. So there are different ways you can say that. Simasen Eki Doko Deska, or the name of the station. For example, if you're going to Shinjuku no Eki Doko Deska, you know, stuffs like that. Like that, my words, Japanese words, increased, and before you know it, just started with words, knowing the meaning, and then bam, I started making sentences. Can you believe that? Of course, I'm not perfect now. I'm not very perfect. My Japanese is still very funny. Even my kids, when I speak, they laugh. They tell me, Mom, what's that? What language is that? I'll tell them it's Japanese. They say, oh my goodness. I say, yes, I'm trying. They will laugh before they will now correct me. So, now the desire I'm trying to build up right now is how to write. I've started with the basic one, knowing the kakiku keko, mamimu memo, and stuff like that. Naninu neno, you know. The hiragana, and then the katakana. I remember the first time I came, I said, Jesus, how come they have 3 types? And then they now have the kanji. Oh my God. Even the Japanese find the kanji very difficult, you know. Because you give them something to read, and then they will tell you, oh, I don't know the meaning. Oh, I don't know the meaning. And they start checking their dictionary. Strange, right? It's to show you how difficult the kanji is. Even teachers, you give them a letter or something from the city office for them to read for you. They always shy away from me because they will tell me, I don't know this word. I don't know how to explain this word. And stuff like that. But they still... And then when you now use your Google teacher, oh dear Lord. The translation sometimes. The translation sometimes is very wrong. So you just have to figure out that no, this letter can't be talking about this, stuff like that. So that is how I always encourage my students for them to try their best. Yeah, it's difficult. That is difficult does not mean it's impossible. They just have to try. So each time I take up a class, before we get to the end of that class, like this talks me, I see great improvement, especially for the elementary school students. They really need to have as much fun English lesson as much as possible, because without that, really teaching them is very difficult. Incorporate games and stuff like that. Oh, by the way, I'm working on it, like posting games. You know, Chini is new on YouTube, right? So I'm trying to figure it out. But I'll be posting some games. Of course, most of these games are not my idea. I'm really grateful for the teachers before me. Many of them, they posted their work online. So some of those work online, I use them. Sometimes I make some little adaptation. Sometimes, you know what I mean? This word, no, this one, just make some arrangements to suit my class. So at the end of every school year, the improvement my students make, it gladdens my heart greatly. I'm really proud of them, like my student right now. I remember one of the schools, the Japanese English teacher told me, oh, these students, when they were in their 4th grade, they are terrible, they are noisy. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, when we started with them, when I started with them, they were really noisy. I have my style, and I let them know at the beginning of every school year, these are the do and don'ts. You come to class early, to the English classroom early, and then they have files. They have to decide who the I think from time to time they have a way of doing this, even in their own homeroom, with their homeroom teachers. So now these students, oh my God, when I see them, the improvements they've made, I feel like crying. Sometimes it's so difficult to contain my joy. Even those that are shy, I see them coming out from their shell. Those that are very quiet, especially when it's game time. Oh Jesus, they love games. And the only way you can really get them to enjoy learning English is when you incorporate games from time to time, as many times as possible. Not the same game all the time, because at a point those games become boring. And then also, for every game, as a teacher, we should always give our games names, so that when we tell the student, okay, let's make a keyword game, clapping keyword game, give your games names so students will know. These kids, they are very good. Once you let them know something, they don't forget it, especially when it's game. So, gee, it's very cold today, even with my hand gloves. My fingers are freezing. Like I said at the beginning, I didn't put on my watch to know the distance. I'm sure maybe I must have made about 2 kilometers or thereabout, but it's okay. Little steps. It's very, very important. A drop of water makes a mighty ocean, right? So little baby step, it's okay. I just started, so I know with time, if I make effort, I'll be able to make this as a daily affair, as a daily routine. It's very, very important. Okay, like today when I got home, I just made something for my kids, especially my second daughter. When she comes back, she plays basketball. When she comes back, she's always very tired and hungry. So today I just made something she will be able to munch on before I come back to make dinner. Then off I go, because once I sit down, hey, getting up is going to be a big problem. Okay, I have to stop here. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Yoroshiku, I beg you. Thank you very much. See you next time. Ciao. My hands are full.